sir. What's up, everybody? It's your boy Tank, and we're coming to you with a brand new episode of The Drop Room, podcast full of mic drop moments. We got a great show for you today. We got a lot to talk about for all of your favorite sports. Let me introduce my co-host real quick. Savage, give me a yer.
Yer, what's up, everyone?
Suplex, how you doing tonight, baby?
What's going on, guys? What's going on?
And of course, last but not least, my man Pushin' P. How you doing?
Yo, what's good, boys?
All right, now let's get straight into it. Well, everybody knows the NBA season is underway. We're about a few games in, and some teams are looking really good, some are a little shaky, but last night, boy oh boy, did we have a really amazing thriller on our hands. Lakers beat the Clippers in overtime in a matchup where they were down 19 at one point. What are your thoughts on this, boys? Savage, tell me how you feel about these Lakers, and what did you think about this game where there were 3 players with 30 or more points?
This is the NBA that everybody wants. This is the NBA that we grew up with, where stars come out to play. And you see the stars on the court go pound for pound with each other. You got 5 guys in double figures, high-end double figures, I should say, 20-plus points. Almost all 5 of them scored 30. This was by far the best game I've seen, best regular game season I've seen in the past year or so. We had Paul George show up, we had Kawhi Leonard show up. Hell, Russell Westbrook showed up. I think you said it last night. The guy shows up only against the Lakers. But
Absolutely.
I mean, if the NBA is going to put this kind of product on the court, they're going to get fans like me back who used to watch in the early 2000s, and then even in the past 3-4 years, I've kind of tapered off on the regular season. But last night was great, and I think that if the Lakers play this way, they're title contenders. But it's a hell of a lot to ask for a 40-year-old to carry your team night in and night out.
Absolutely. Pushin' P, what do you think about these Lakers or the Clippers? There was a lot good there too. How you feel?
I'm gonna be totally honest with you, man. I went straight to sleep as soon as I heard you guys was playing together. But when I woke up and I saw the score, these guys went to overtime. I was like, "What? I should not have went to sleep. This is nuts." And like Savage said, you even had Russell Westbrook showing up, which is crazy. So this is quite the game. I'm gonna definitely go back and watch the highlights for this one because this sounded crazy.
And then I know we have our resident Anthony Davis hater, Suplex. He gave you 27 and 10. He has some blocked shots. He's looking good. This morning, Alan Hahn said he will never be a 1. He's a 2. There's no keys to hand over. How did you feel about his performance? But how did you feel about this game overall?
I mean, I don't think I'm a hater. I think I'm a realist, first off. Secondly, I think we were all in agreement about how we feel about AD, so I'm not the only one. So Resident is a little bit crazy, but I'll let it slide for now. I mean, he's played really good since the first game for sure, where the whole team was a no-show, especially him in that second half. Last night he played really well, but he's definitely not a number 1, and I think anyone with half a brain cell that's watching these games can see that. LeBron's carrying this team. Even at 38 years old, he's still the number 1 on this team. And even towards the end of the game, I've noticed this a lot now, that AD rarely ever has the ball. AD rarely is ever, except for maybe last night because the Clippers were playing small ball, so they were trying to exploit it with AD. But other than that, AD rarely ever has the ball. It's usually LeBron and it's usually Reeves that they go to look to close these games out. And, you can't really be a number 1 if your team's not really looking for you towards the end of these games. But, he's been playing great. He has been a monster on the boards. He's scoring. And I think, yesterday was a great win for the team coming down, from 19. And, I think the bigger story here is the Clippers, because they were playing off a back-to-back. They did come down on an 8-point game in the last minute, and Paul George went, insane. Questionable call, but the call was made.
Extremely questionable.
It is what it is. And we all know about the James Harden trade, so it's gonna be interesting to see who, like Kawhi said, someone is gonna have to make a sacrifice, or everyone's gonna have to make a sacrifice. So it's gonna be fun to see who makes that sacrifice? Is it going to be Westbrook to the bench so that Harden can play point? Because I don't really see how it works with Harden and Westbrook on the court at the same time. But
yeah, I agree.
Just all in all, it's going to be exciting to see.
I totally agree on that thought. To be honest, I thought the Clippers played great the first half, and then it showed that they were on a back-to-back. But still, I think when you're up, 61-48, we were all in agreement. The Clippers looked in control. They were probably a little bit in the Lakers' head, because how many in a row have the Clippers won?
11 in a row.
11, right?
11 in a row, and 14 out of 15 up until that point.
Yeah, so at that point, it became a mental game, and even I said it out loud. I was like, this game's over. The Clippers look good, but the Clippers only look good this good against the Lakers. But just to get back to the big picture, I don't understand this James Harden move. You already have one of the most ball dominant guards in Russell Westbrook. I've been watching James Harden here in the Philly area, and it worked. It was working a little bit here because you have one guy who needs the ball in the paint, but when you have people like Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, who are more of the ISO ball players then you got to set them up. So I don't get the fit. You gave up some depth. You gave up some draft picks, which nobody cares about in the NBA, but I don't get it. Harden is not a good spot-up shooter. He wants the ball in his hands. Even his press conference today said he's the system. He doesn't want to be on a leash. He just doesn't want to stand and shoot. So I don't understand the fit. I think this is going to end very badly. I don't consider the Clippers the top 4, maybe even 5 team in the West anymore.
Wow.
It looks.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't.
I mean, Vegas does not agree with you. Vegas thinks the Clippers are the best team in the West to
are they
go
currently
to the finals.
are they currently favored to go to the finals?
They're favored in the West.
Really?
I saw that they were favored to win the finals.
No way.
I didn't see that. I saw that they're favored to go to the finals over the Nuggets by it's very close, but the new rankings are Clippers 1, Nuggets 2, Warriors 3, Lakers 4. This was before last night's game that it was ranked that way, and rightfully so. Up until last night, the Lakers looked terrible.
So that means Phoenix 5?
Phoenix was 5. Yeah, Phoenix hasn't played. They haven't even seen the guys together. Those were the updated rankings.
That's crazy. So the odds are actually saying Clippers are at number 1. I saw the ESPN post
about-
about that, but
it's
I didn't
true,
know
it's true. Yeah. The odds had Clippers
okay.
number 1, either to win the finals or make the finals.
I admittedly did not check that. So they, prior to the Harden deal, or even after, they had them over the Suns?
No. Before the deal, when the season started, I remember very clearly because as a resident LeBron fan, I bet on the Lakers to win the championship before the season started. When I checked, the Suns and the Nuggets were tied at number 1. That's where the season had started. Now they're not even top 5, the Suns.
Wow.
I hope it's not too late for you to cash out.
I mean, putting your money on the Clippers before the Nuggets is insane. Even though the Nuggets brought
very insane.
It's insane. They brought back mostly the same team, and you just blew my mind.
Now they added a
with that
cancer.
Yeah,
now they added a cancer. Like I don't understand where Vegas thinks this is going. Like, to your point, listen, I'm a resident LeBron fan. I have watched every single LeBron game for as long as I can remember, and I will tell you from personal experience, if you tell Russell Westbrook, who just dropped 24 points, 11 rebounds, and 8 assists, and is one of the main reasons that they're even in this game or up, to now start coming off the bench right off after this high that he had in this game, and now you're like, hey, you're going to have to take a back seat because we traded for a guy who we think is better than you, and you have to run our second unit. Guess what? The Lakers tried that. The Lakers tried to get this guy's ego down and tell him there's too much ego. There's no leader. LeBron is a great locker room leader, and he couldn't control Russell Westbrook. You think quiet Kawhi and what is it? Where's Pauldo? Where's Pauldo is going to tell him. Yeah, where's Pauldo is going to tell him where to go. I'm sorry. I don't think this works, but I still think they're a top 5 team in the West. I think the West isn't as stacked as it was, or it doesn't even look as stacked as it did last year. I think right now, if you look at your teams, Nuggets, Warriors, Suns, Lakers, Clippers, put it in whatever order you want to. Those are your top 5 teams in the West.
I'll give you a
little brother.
I'll give you my top
Sorry,
five right now.
Sorry, you said the West is not as stacked as it was last year.
Yeah, as stacked as it was last year.
No,
Whoa! Did you just try and sneak that by us?
No.
Wait a second.
No. What are you saying?
What? What
Dude,
are you watching?
a team from the play-in went to the Western Conference Finals. You think that's gonna happen this year? That's what I mean by stacked. It's
It
like
wasn't
from,
just any team though.
but it's like from 1 to 8.
You're saying-
From 1 to
you're
8,
saying
any
it was like
team
it
could
was
have
the
gone to the
Timberwolves.
finals. From 1 to 7, sorry, 1 to 7, any of those teams could have gone to the finals. The Kings were 1 game away from beating the Warriors.
No one thought the Kings were going to the finals. No one thought the Grizzlies were going to the finals. Nobody thought that.
ESPN Analytics had a different answer than you,
Nobody
buddy.
thought that.
ESPN
Nobody
Analytics
thought
had
We know ESPN Analytics is on one.
We know how ESPN analysts is.
what did they have? They had Miami 3% chance to beat Boston after game 1. After they lost game 1, they still had a 3% chance of winning.
I love how we all thought of that same thing as soon as you mentioned ESPN Analytics.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
But
you know-
I do.
just to close that loop there, I don't think the Clippers are top 5. I'll give you 5 teams that are better. I'll give you the Lakers, the Nuggets, the Warriors, the Suns. That's 4, right? I'm throwing the
that's
Dallas Mavericks in there. That's 5.
Thank you. We're not talking
My
about the
man,
Dallas
my
Mavericks.
man, Luka Doncic has put his head down and he's going for that MVP. He's going for the
He
kill.
has to
He
average
has-
40 points a game. He's averaging 39.
This is the most I've ever watched the Dallas Mavericks, and it's because of the rookies they got and the signings they made. Derek Lively is what Luka needed. Grant Williams is what Luka needed. Seth Curry is what Luka needed. Guys that can just sit there. Because all they do to Luka lately, after his first two, he didn't explode yesterday.
him.
He didn't explode against the game yesterday, but he's getting doubled, wide open
because
guys.
he got doubled yesterday.
Yep,
He was getting
wide
doubled
open
like
guys.
crazy yesterday.
But that's 5 teams, right? And then Clippers at 6. But I wouldn't put it past if you get a healthy De'Aaron Fox. I'm putting the Kings above them too.
I don't know. I think Kings are little brother in the West. I think that's what the Kings are.
Okay, but
the
then you
reason
can't say
why-
the Kings are little brother and then tell me that 1 to 7 last year anyone could have went to the finals.
The reason
That's-
why I don't believe in the
contradicting
Clippers,
I
don't
think
believe in
the
their 2
teams are more
stars.
top heavy this year. I think the teams are more top heavy this year. That's what I think.
If anything, Tank, I think it's more balanced. You're gonna get a Thunder team that couldn't make the play-in, I believe. They look good. Their talent is coming together. They're gonna make the playoffs this year. I think they look good. So you add them into the mix, and we're not talking about the Pelicans. Looks like Zion's healthy.
I wouldn't
You know?
I wouldn't sleep on New Orleans either.
Exactly. Yeah.
New
I
Orleans
think the
looked
West
really
is better.
bad. Who was it? I think it was against the Warriors. I think so, right? They looked really bad.
Yeah, but I don't think they had their full team, right? I think they
No,
were
they
missing
were
a couple
down.
of guys,
They
right?
were down 20 to OKC. They came back and they won that game.
Yeah, and they're up today with only basically CJ McCollum playing, no Zion,
Yeah,
nobody in,
no
but
Zion, nothing.
but I think the West is better balanced this year. There's more complete
The West
teams
is-
there.
The West is way more stacked. There's nothing on the East. There's no one on the East. The East is
Oh no!
too
If
deep. And
you're
you know-
not
we already
Boston
know-
or Milwaukee, don't even hope for anything.
don't even hope. The East is hopeless. The West, there's talent. It's gonna be even we're kind of sleeping on Minnesota too.
Yeah, I think
what
so.
they
You
did to
know,
Denver yesterday. You know,
do you know? Like, I don't know if you guys see this, but I think the FIBA has helped Anthony Edwards mature into
I
somebody
think
else.
so too.
What I used to see with
He
Anthony Edwards
looks like a
was jack
man
up
today.
shots.
He looks like a man.
Jack
this
up
season.
shots. No matter what, reckless shooting. Now he's looking to set up his guys. I still don't understand the fit between Cat and Gobert. I think instead of that Gobert signing, it should have been more depth around them, better building around them. But I still think Minnesota's a really good team. Sacramento's a good team. Suns, Oklahoma, that's 4 plus the top 6 in the standings right now. That's 10 deep. That's 10 deep.
That play.
I don't
playoff
want to.
run, and then that plane is gonna be good.
Well,
in the
I mean,
West,
the major
Hey.
concern, obviously, but I think more so in the West than anywhere is going to be health, because all of these guys are so used to resting. But I think Adam Silver and the NBA did a great job with this new 65 game implementation rule. Last year, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, they don't play back to back. They sit out the Magic game to play last night against the Lakers. This year, they played both games. They played 32 minutes the first game, and I got it right here. Kawhi Leonard played 41 minutes. Paul George fouled out. That's why he played 37. Otherwise, he would have also topped 40 minutes. So back-to-back nights playing. But I don't want to lose sight of one really important thing that I've really needed to get off my chest. LeBron James is the GOAT. Like, there's no way around this. LeBron James, oh my God. 38 years old, year 21, 35, 12, and 7. You know what his fourth quarter stats are for anybody who thinks he's too old and can't play too many minutes? He's averaging 11 points on 71% from the field, 45% from 3, and 71% from the free throw line in the fourth quarter. And every single game has been close because the Lakers also, all 5 games, started off at the end of the first quarter, they're down double digits. Every single game, the Lakers decide not to show up in the first quarter, so let's make LeBron work in the fourth quarter to carry us to the promised land, per usual. And they couldn't do it right in game 1 because Darvin Ham thought sitting LeBron was more important than winning the game, which obviously didn't work out. And then tried it again last night, and let me tell you, the Lakers don't go to overtime if LeBron doesn't sit for those 30 seconds. Those 30 seconds he sits, and Paul George just runs right down. For who did they put in for LeBron? A second-year shooting guard who's not even 200 pounds in Max Christie to guard Paul George. Like, what was the logic in all of that? And then for once, Darvin Ham used his brain, which I thought was also a bad decision, but it worked out. He played Jackson Hayes, Christian Wood, and Anthony Davis together, 3 centers, and they cut a double-digit lead and tied the game with LeBron sitting on the bench. So kudos to Darvin Ham for that. But then Darvin Ham went back to his normal self, and he was like, whoa, I'm doing too good as a coach right now, and decided to put Max Christie back in. And you guys saw this. LeBron was very, very upset. He was very upset that he benched him even for 30 seconds, played the whole game, played overtime. This man is the GOAT, year 21. I don't want to hear it. He's turning 39 years old. And my man Greeny said this morning, what did Michael Jordan do when he was 38? He retired not once, but twice in that time frame. And we got LeBron James out here balling out and showing Kawhi Leonard and Paul George who's their daddy, because he's making a layup over both of them, blocking Westbrook. And as a LeBron fan who has so much pent-up frustration against Russell Westbrook, I just want to say it was beautiful watching him get dunked on and blocked by LeBron James. Just needed to get all of that off my chest, guys. You guys can say whatever you want now.
Are you done?
I only said half of what I wanted to, but I had to cut it short.
I'll say one thing.
Zip it up.
The only I guess group of people who right now can't see that LeBron is the best player in the fourth quarter and possibly right now who's playing better than him.
Outside of Luka, there is nobody. Outside of Luka Doncic, there is nobody who is playing better than LeBron James. Yeah. The impact that LeBron has is insane. It's insane. His plus minus on and court, off the court. How is it that in year 21 on the court they're like plus 30, off the court they're like minus 50? Like even Steph Curry, somebody posted a stat today. On the court they're only plus 6. Off the court, the Warriors are plus 38 when Curry goes to the bench because Chris Paul runs the offense. They're plus 38 when Curry's on the bench, and which is great for him. I applaud that teams should make their teams good enough that their superstar doesn't have to be there for every minute. Lakers, for some reason, can't do that. They can't figure it out. How do you play when LeBron James go to the bench? It's insane to me.
Yeah, and I think that team management doesn't understand that they need LeBron. Rest him. Go ahead and rest him in the early half of the game. Your whole team doesn't show up anyway, and then give it to LeBron. He'll win you the game.
If you want to play him 20 to 30.
Yeah, but I don't know who you mentioned that people who are saying that he's too old and can't play in the fourth quarter. I don't think anyone.
No.
Besides the people in his own camp who didn't want him to play, who want him to play 20 to 30 minutes.
That's true. His trainer wanted him to play 20 to 30 minutes, but I'm saying that all these media outlets, their constant thing is he's too old. He's going to be gassed in the fourth quarter. Bro, Kawhi Leonard, who's so many years younger than him, looked gassed because he is not used to playing back-to-back. Paul George, Anthony Davis looks gassed, man. Anthony Davis is 32 years old, and he looks gassed standing next to LeBron no matter what the moment is. And LeBron can just be a freight train. I've only seen LeBron look gassed once in the past year, and that was Game 4 against the Nuggets because he ended up playing all 48 minutes of that game.
Yeah. Even and Tank, as you're the resident LeBron fan. He looks in way better shape than he did last year. There were times I would text you and I'd be like, "This guy can barely get off the ground." LeBron looks
his
in
foot
great
was not
shape
healthy.
this year.
His foot was actually torn from the bottom, and he played through it because, I mean, let's be honest, they had a window. They had a real window to win the ring. Like, why would you not come back? That's like Aaron Rodgers coming back this year is because he sees a real window. Same way LeBron, if LeBron thought the team was bad, if Westbrook was still on the roster after the trade deadline, LeBron would sit out the rest of the season, hands down guaranteed. But he thought they had a real window. He came back. But to your point, he looks healthier, but he also looks smarter in the sense that before, what he used to do is he would completely chill until the last 5 minutes of the fourth quarter. Now, as soon as the fourth quarter starts, it's give me the ball and move out the damn way. I'm going to run this offense, and I don't care if the game we're down 10, I'll bring us back. We're tied, I'm going to take the lead and I'm going to finish this. That's what LeBron's doing, which I think is very different. And he's controlling his own rotation since game one. He refuses. I think it was against the Kings. They tried to bench him, and he said no. Yesterday, they benched him for 30 seconds. He cursed them out. Against the Nuggets, they did it, and he was like, I'm not doing this again. I don't care what you guys say. I'm not doing this again.
Yeah,
I think
I'm glad he's aware that the team's not good and they won't win without him.
absolutely, which is unfortunate. But, hey, man, they were missing
Just-
4 rotational pieces yesterday.
Just last thing before we wrap that up is that in past years, LeBron would love to stand by in the fourth quarter. And you know, that's my biggest criticism of him. You're the best player on the court. Take control. This year, that's not the case. He is taking
knows
the
they're
ball
not
to
gonna
the
win.
rack. He knows it, and thank God he got that realization that maybe this is the last real season he has a shot at a championship, because after that, the future is uncertain. But let me segue here to quickly. Let's quickly discuss to who the best team in the league is. Suplex, what do you think?
I think it's hard to debate this one right now. We're through 4 or 5 games. But
Yeah, just
I think Boston.
eye test. Yeah.
Boston clearly the best team in the league right now. I think, this was something we had talked about before the season started. They got Porzingis, they got Drew Holiday, pieces that fit, and you can see the depth. You can see Tatum's balling out right now. Jaylen Brown's playing great basketball right now. Porzingis had 30, I think it was on the Knicks game 1.
Yeah, game 1.
So the talent's there, and right now, there's no growing pains either through 4 games. So, just by the eye test, by the talent test, I think they're the best.
And it's funny because the day the Dame trade went down, I think we were texting in the same group, and I was saying, and I had no idea this was going to happen. This was like a fantasy thing. I was like, if the Boston Celtics now go get Drew Holiday, I don't care what Dame time, lame time, whatever shit time it is, Boston is the favorite. And the only reason I said that is because of Drew Holiday. I don't care about the KP acquisition. Great. KP's been a good 15 to 20 point guy. The biggest addition was kind of by subtraction. They got rid of Marcus Smart, who thought he was better, or at least at the level of Tatum and Jaylen Brown. I think that's the biggest change in the team. And then Drew Holiday is one of the smartest guys, highest basketball IQ in the league. And what he did for Giannis in that finals too. Giannis dominated the hell out of that finals and the Suns. But low key, what Drew Holiday brings is leadership. He's the glue. He's the glue guy. He knows who to get the ball, where to, and then he's pure clamps on defense. So that was the big key, and you could see it if you watch the Celtics play. There's more harmony amongst them. There's no I'm taking the shot or I'm taking the shot, because usually when the ball goes into one of these guys, it was never coming back. So
It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter if he's that guy, because here's the reality is, if Marcus Smart was like, I'm that guy, I'm gonna take that shot. Drew Holiday's like, I don't care about being that guy, but I'll actually make that shot. Drew Holiday will hit that shot that Marcus Smart thinks he can make. Like, how are the Grizzlies doing now? 0-5. 0-5. Only team that hasn't gotten a win yet is the Memphis Grizzlies, which, with all due respect, they deserve that. That team was all through the roof for no reason.
Yeah.
Yep.
Tank, what about you? Who's the best team right now? Just pass the eye test.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I don't think it's the Lakers. That's my team. I'm a LeBron fan, but they have not looked. They have not looked like the best team in the league. I'll say, to kind of echo Suplex's point, he's not. Anthony Davis will never take the keys because he doesn't have that dog in him. I think people need to understand LeBron got that dog in him, obviously, and that's why he was able to be the leader. But Anthony Davis, I don't think it's that he doesn't even get the ball. They don't even draw plays for him because he doesn't ask for the ball. He needs to be saying, it's the fourth quarter, I'm Anthony Davis. Nah, he's tired. He just wants to stand on defense because he's way better defensively. That's not the 1A, A+ guy. That's not who he is. I would say the best team in the whole NBA right now, I personally think it's the Nuggets. It has nothing to do with the fact that they've scarred me and kept me up for a lot of nights after sweeping LeBron. I think it has more to do with the fact that there is no answer for Jokic. Like, I do not see any person stopping Jokic, and if they're healthy, it's not just the same team running back. Look at their confidence. Look at the way KCP's hitting shots. Look at the way Michael Porter, the ball stops here, Jr. is taking shots. Look at the way Jamal Murray's running that offense. Look at the swag that Michael Malone has to him now that he's a champion, right? They talked all that smack to the Lakers all offseason. Lakers tried to talk some back, and they still shut him out. They still beat him to the where fans are saying, "Who's your daddy?" Like, how disrespectful is that? You're saying that to the GOAT and you don't care? Like, much respect to that team. I think they should be considered the favorites. And I know Suplex, you still have to do yours, but my early predictions on what the NBA Finals would be, I think it's going to end up being Nuggets versus Celtics in the finals, and I have Nuggets actually winning that chip. I don't know how many games, but I think Nuggets beat the Celtics in the finals. I don't know what your early predictions are going to look like, Suplex.
Yeah, I think I'm going with the same prediction. I think I'm going to go with Nuggets, Celtics. I think both of them are by far the best teams in their conferences, and that would be an amazing finals if we get the treat.
And who do you think would win that?
Oh, we're giving our winner too?
Yeah, I think the Nuggets win.
Man, that's really close. I'll pass. I'll pass for now.
Wow.
I plead fifth.
I'll pass for now. I don't know.
It's close. It'll be a 7-game series. It'll be 7 games.
It's really tough, man. It's really tough.
I think it's based on who gets home
I said
court.
they're the best team in the league, so
I think it's based on who gets home court, and let's be honest, it's going to be way easier for the Celtics to get home court since they could basically win every single game in the East. There's no team in the East that could beat them on any given night. So, and Savage, who you got as your best team in the league right now in early championship prediction? Give me both teams and who you think's going to win.
I got the best team is the Celtics by far and away. I think they're the best team in the East. And my finals prediction is going to be the Celtics over the Lakers.
You picked the Lakers and I did it. It's crazy.
To be honest, to be completely honest,
how much money did he give you under the table to say that?
No. Let's leave Tank alone.
That's what I've heard about.
Let's leave Tank alone. The only reason, to be honest, it's very hard to get back to the finals if your name's not LeBron James year after year. I love Jokic. I love his game. But I think just there's a hangover. I think LeBron did not let that hangover come in on his teams. And even if there was, the talent was there. He was just great enough to take his team to the finals year after year. Nothing against the Nuggets.
Years in a row, baby.
That fire. I just don't see that fire in these other role players that they got. There's a lot of turnover. They're still a great team. I think it could be a Western Conference Finals, and LeBron gets his revenge. Last year in LA, let's buy the script. But then they're going to lose to Boston this time. I think LA won the last Boston.
LA
series,
won the last one. Kobe versus Paul
I'm going to
Pierce.
give this one. I'm going to give this one to Tatum. Gets his first championship.
Nah. Let me tell you this. If my Lakers go to the finals, they're going to win the chip, baby. But they're only going to get to the finals if AD actually steps up in the playoffs and doesn't have his one day I'm going to play and drop 40 and the next day I'm going to drop 10 because I don't feel like shooting games. If he can stay consistent in the playoffs, which is a very big if, but also they played 5 games, and outside of the Nuggets won the last 4, he's been consistent. He's averaging 27 and 12 in the last 4 games. He's been pretty consistent on that front. But if he can show this consistency in the playoffs and learn how to take that next step like LeBron, where instead of 27, you're dropping like 33, because that's what you got to do to get your team over the hump, they'll go to the finals. But if they make it to the finals, they're definitely going to win. But we could keep debating this all night. Push and P, what's your prediction on who you think is the best team in the league right now? And who do you got going to the finals and winning?
Don't say the Knicks.
All right. No, I won't say the Knicks. Not yet. It's too early. For the best team in the league, I think it's stupid for me to argue for anyone except the Celtics right now. It's just way too early. I know the Clippers are technically the most favored right now in Vegas's eyes, but we saw them only play one game and they lost to LeBron and D'Angelo Russell dropping 27. I know you said he only plays good against bad teams. So does I don't know.
Are the Clippers a bad team?
I think it's just
James Harden didn't play. James Harden didn't play, so it counts. It counts.
Right. So, based on that, I'm gonna have to stick with the Celtics. I know it's getting a little bit repetitive. We're all saying the same thing pretty much, but I'm gonna stick with the Celtics for sure. And as far as the championship goes, so I'll put the Celtics in there for Eastern Conference and for Western Conference. I'm gonna. Did anyone say Mavericks?
Nobody said Mavericks because everybody here is sane. Everybody here has brain cells.
Yeah, I'm gonna play devil's advocate for that one and say the Mavericks are in there, even though they play absolutely zero defense. Maybe Luka and Kyrie can whip something up and get as far as they can to the finals.
They're only going to the finals.
They got some defensive pieces now, though.
But they're only going to the finals if Luka averages 45 points per series. That's the only way that team is going to the finals. I don't see them.
For him,
I don't see them.
They don't. He doesn't need to score 40.
I don't see them beating the Nuggets in 7 games, the Lakers in 7 games, the Suns. Bradley Beal and Devin Booker haven't even played a full game with KD yet. If they're healthy,
that's my concern with them.
I think that's a team that none of us are.
You know why? You know why? It
honest.
feels too much like the Brooklyn Nets. It feels too much like James Harden, Kyrie Irving, and Kevin Durant thinking they could just make it work.
Break down at any moment, right?
Just thinking they could make it work in 10 games.
I just can't buy in if you're starting out the season with 2 of your stars, right, just sitting. It's just a bad look. And I was reading somewhere, I think Bradley Beal hasn't played. He's missed about 301 games over the past however odd seasons, but it was an absurd number. I can't buy in on that team. The bench is horrible, so we're going to stay clear of the Suns. And I think that's a consensus.
Agreed. 100%. But you know what we also got going on now is the new NBA tournament that starts tomorrow. It's a little complicated, but Suplex, why don't you break it down for us, baby?
All right, guys, we got the in-season tournament. I repeat, the in-season tournament starting tomorrow. We got 6 groups of 5, 3 in the East, 3 in the West, and each team in the group will play the other 4 teams in one, I guess you can say, group play game, with one winner from each group advancing to the knockout stage and 2 wildcard teams, 1 wildcard from each conference, also advancing. And it kicks off tomorrow night, and we're just going to quickly run through the groups, and then we're going to have all of us give our predictions really quickly. So in the East, the first group is the Sixers, the Cavs, the Hawks, the Pacers, and the Pistons. Group B is the Bucks, the Knicks, Miami, Washington, and the Hornets. Group C is the Celtics, the Nets, the Raptors, the Bulls, and the Magic. And then in the West, we have Group A, which is the Grizzlies, Suns, Lakers, Jazz, Trailblazers. Group B is the Nuggets, Clippers, Pelicans, Mavericks, Rockets. And Group C, Kings, Warriors, Timberwolves, OKC, and the Spurs. So we'll just go really quickly. First, I want to hear you guys' thoughts on the in-season tournament really quickly. Are we excited? What do we think? How do you think this is going to go?
Bro, that Knicks court is fresh. I love the court designs. I think they're selling it very well. And to be honest, before we started this, I was very pessimistic towards it, but you guys kind of warmed me up to the idea. And I will say this, if these teams come out with that same energy that we saw this game last night, Savage, you said this was probably one of the best regular season games in maybe the last 5 years. Kudos to the NBA for getting all-stars to actually start playing against each other. They looked really competitive. If this is what we get in the in-season tournament, if this is how seriously these guys take it, because, you know, what's the most important thing in the NBA? You rest yourself in the regular season because you want to go and win a ring. Now there's a cup, and how important is that cup to your record, to your history? Like the media, the NBA has to push, hey, winning this is very important for your legacy. And I think that would push a lot of people to actually be competitive in this. If we end up seeing a team that we don't even think has a chance to make it to the finals win this tournament, I think that's nothing as a success for the NBA. I mean, unless it's all competitive, because 1-game eliminations, you don't have to be the best team to win, because that's a 7-game series. 1-game elimination, anything's possible. But if it's obvious that the stars didn't try, they didn't care, then I don't want to hear about it. But if they play the way they did last night, I think this is great. I think the idea is great. I think the courts are going to be so cool that I'm really excited for. But I think to push in P's point, a millie's a millie, and if you're getting a millie for playing and winning this cup, you're gonna go chase it. So let's see. The cup itself is kind of small though, so I don't know how I feel about all that. But how you feel, Savage?
Yeah, I think Adam Silver's the type of commissioner who doesn't do much without asking his players. So I think he had his buy-in. That if we're doing this, don't make it look bad. It's a first time idea. Don't half of you start resting and not take it seriously. It's the first time they're doing a play-in tournament, in-season tournament. I think there must have been a discussion with at least the star players that, hey, what do you think about this? There's no way
the old star players, easily the old star players, right? Like Steph Curry, LeBron, those guys.
And you hear the whispers, hey, the stars aren't showing up, this and that over the past 3 or 4 years. I think the stars are going to show up. These games count for regular season. These guys all have big egos. I'm sure, even an oldie like LeBron's going to be like, hey, I'm not losing my group and going home to the freaking Grizzlies and Jazz and Portland Trailblazers who are rebuilding too. So I think we're going to get an exciting tournament. I'm warming up to the idea. At first, 3-4 months ago, I was even saying, what the hell is this nonsense? But the more that you look at it, the better I feel. So let's get into our predictions for this.
Yeah, let's do it. All right, Group A. The Sixers, the Cavs, the Hawks, the Pacers, and the Pistons. Push and P, what you thinking?
So explain one more time how the format's going to work. You're saying out of each group, there's going to be one team that comes out of it, and they're going to go into the actual bracket?
The knockout stage, yes.
Okay, all right.
And then one additional team from each conference that didn't win in their group but has the best record in the whole conference.
Yeah.
So how many total on each side? There's going to be 4 on each side?
Four on each side are going to come in, yep.
Okay, all right. This is really hard to predict, so I'm gonna just throw out some 4 random teams for the East and.
No, just Group A right now.
Yeah, let's go with East
Group A. All right, I'm gonna say 76ers are coming out of that one. What do you guys think?
Okay, Savage.
I think 76ers as well.
I honestly think since this is all one game, I think the Pacers are gonna be coming out of this.
I like that. That was my second pick there.
Okay, bold prediction.
I like it.
Yep.
I think this is a young. Sorry, finish.
I'm going out of the park too. I'm going with Atlanta.
Yeah,
that's not a bad one.
Depends on what Trae Young you're getting. That's what it's gonna come down to.
Are you getting Trae Young versus the Knicks or Trae Young versus?
He's been terrible versus the Knicks. I will say this: when they unveiled the cup, all the guys that were there were all the young guys. I think this is really an agenda to push the young guys. So I think, especially since it's 1-game elimination, you're gonna have fast-paced, fast guys. That's why I really like the Pacers. Young guys that are gonna 1 game. Well, that's all it takes to win, right? Why not?
That's
give it your all.
Well, you gotta win the group first. The group you gotta play
right. Yeah. No, I know.
The other teams. So you most likely have to go 4-0.
Yeah.
So you most likely have to beat all the other teams in your group.
Yep.
To win the group. Most likely.
All right.
So that's what we're gonna base the groups off. Okay, Group B: Bucks, Knicks, Heat, Wizards, and Hornets.
Please, I think we could all say Bucks and move on.
No, I got the Knicks.
I'm putting the Knicks in there. Let's go,
Savage.
Oh.
I'm one of the biggest Knick haters, but I think this tournament fits what they do. The play hard regular season champions.
When Julius Randle gives you 7 points on 24% shooting, then come back to me and tell me.
We're not in the playoffs, bro. It's not happening. Don't worry.
He's doing it in the regular season. He's doing it in the regular season.
Yo, we just started, bro. You gotta wait. It's gonna average out, bro. Don't worry.
Yeah, he might.
Well, they're gonna have to win. They're gonna have to beat the Bucks tomorrow. That's the first day. If you can't beat the Bucks tomorrow, you're not gonna. Yeah, in Milwaukee, you're not winning.
You might want to catch him now, though.
Yeah, catch him now.
Milwaukee, if you want to catch Milwaukee now, you might as well catch him now.
If whoever wins the game,
Milwaukee too.
Whoever wins the game tomorrow, I believe is gonna win that group. It's the Bucks Knicks. Whoever wins that game, I think takes the group.
Okay,
Because
so who do
to
you-
your
who do you have
point,
winning?
I think the Bucks win. I think the Bucks win this.
Okay, so we got 2 for the Bucks, 2 for the Knicks. Okay, Group C: Celtics, Nets, Raptors, Bulls, Magic.
This group is weak. How do you not go with the Celtics?
Extremely weak.
Yeah.
Celtics.
Yeah, I did not say
Clean
Celtics.
Celtics sweep. Let's move on. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Group
next.
A: Grizzlies, Suns, Lakers, Jazz, Trailblazers.
Laker Nation, baby. LeBron
There
is
we
not
go.
gonna lose this group. He's not gonna lose this group. Sorry, I had to get that off my chest.
I got the Lakers too. I don't
I
think.
think the Grizzlies get their first win here. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna go with the. I'll give it to LeBron and the Lakers. I'll side with you on this one.
I just don't know how much LeBron cares about this, so I'm actually gonna go with the Suns.
Yeah, that's
As-
really fair. He probably does not care.
I
at all
know.
about
I know.
this.
We haven't
So,
talked about this
so-
yet.
And being a billionaire.
Yeah, I know we haven't talked about this yet, but my bold prediction is whoever from the Lakers and Suns, whoever wins the group, the other person's gonna be in the wild card. That's my prediction. So if the Lakers win the group, I think the Suns are the wild card. If the Suns win the group, I think that the rest of the division, the group is weak. Whereas all the other teams have really strong groups to go against, so nobody's gonna have enough of a winning record besides the Lakers and the Suns.
Yeah, this group is really weak. Yeah. Okay. All right. Group B: Nuggets, Clippers, Pelicans, Mavs, Rockets. I think this is
Stacked,
the
most
strongest
stacked
group.
in the whole in
most
all
stacked
six.
group that we've
Out of-
seen out of all 6. I agreed.
Yeah.
Go ahead, P. Who are you thinking?
This is a tough one. It could really go any way here.
And by the way, tomorrow night, first game is gonna be the Mavericks at the Denver Nuggets.
All right, I'm gonna make a really bold prediction here. This is like completely random. This is off of a whim. I'm gonna say the Pelicans are coming out of here.
How do you have the Mavericks winning the chip, but you don't have them winning this group? Come on, man.
It's one game. Anything can
Yeah.
happen. You don't
March
know,
Madness,
man.
baby.
You might as well just roll the dice, right? You don't know what's gonna happen.
We should bet on this.
You should.
I
got
got the Mavericks
Mavs.
winning this group.
Oh yes, sir. Let's go.
They
I got
seem
the
like
Mavericks.
if Kyrie is going on a crazy run, maybe he's the
This
one
is
that
it.
leads you to
This is it.
Yeah.
I got the Mavs.
Yeah.
I got the Mavs.
They seem like one of those streaky teams too. So
Crazy
All
how
right,
we
right.
how
See,
we
this-
we three said the Nuggets are probably the best team in the West, and now we're choosing the Mavericks.
No.
Everyone's switching up.
Alright, Group C. This is the youngest group, I would say. Most inexperienced. So, I want to hear what you guys think. Kings, Warriors, Timberwolves, OKC, and San Antonio.
I will.
I think we should get ready to light the beam, because I think the Kings are gonna take this one.
Not Fox isn't
No.
healthy.
What ab-
Fox isn't healthy. I don't think they're gonna win the group.
But,
He's out
but
of-
I think he might be back.
if he's not back
know.
tomorrow, I don't know. Are they playing tomorrow? Are they playing in the first round?
I don't think they're playing tomorrow.
They're not
Oh,
playing
then
tomorrow.
then
They're
they have
not
a
playing
chance.
tomorrow.
Still
Then
have
they,
more
then
time
they
to
have a
recover.
chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the next it's tomorrow and then it's next and then it's a week. from
Tuesdays and
tomorrow.
Fridays. Tuesdays and Fridays are the games except election day. So on Tuesday there won't
Yeah,
be. So
yeah,
it's
yeah,
this
yeah.
Friday, the next Friday. So he gets
And
a week
next
off.
Friday,
Yeah, it's just his ankle, right? It's just that same injury.
yeah, it's the ankle. He came back and played, but they're probably gonna go. They're probably gonna. ease
So
him back,
P, you have the Kings. I actually have
The Kings,
Oklahoma winning this. I think those young boys there.
OKC.
I think they win this group. And-
I'm going with the Warriors. I don't think there's anything really to think about here.
Undefeated in the
I
group.
think I'm
I
going-
think Oklahoma steals it.
I'm going with the Warriors. Too much experience
And
there.
Who's your wild
and
card?
Your
picks?
wild card.
Yeah.
Tell me your wild card picks.
My wild card is the
So now
Suns.
this could be.
It's one from each side,
I was gonna
right?
say this could be.
Yeah, one from
Yep.
each side. One from
Yeah.
each side.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with the Suns.
Who you got on
which
the
is a
East?
Major gamble. The East, I'll take the Bucks. The Bucks. Because I got the Knicks winning, right? That division.
Oh,
So I got-
right,
my
right,
wild
right,
card's the
right,
Bucks
yeah,
and
yeah.
Suns.
Yeah.
Well, mine is very similar to yours, except I have the Bucks winning the group, so I have the Knicks actually as the wild card, but I have the Suns as the wild card as well. I think the Lakers win the group, and then the Suns. It's the weakest group.
Yeah. Easily.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Lakers because there's no way Memphis, Utah, Portland are beating the Lakers, and I'm actually going with the Sixers. because I do think that group is weak as well, and I don't think the Nets or the Raptors are gonna win enough games.
I will say this. I think that if they're doing this cup for the first time, there's no way they're not going to have KD and LeBron going some sort of playoff thing. Like, I just think the NBA's got to make it happen. Like, script it. Just script one of them to win the cup.
They're playing in the group stage, so that's gonna be a good game to watch as well. I think this is the first time this tournament's happening. I feel like the players will want to play.
And that was my point. That I think they're gonna want to play. Just you can't have a bad look the first season.
Yeah, the bad look. Yeah, exactly that. All right, well that wraps up our group stage predictions. I don't think we're not gonna go into the knockout stage.
No, too much unpredictability. Too much unpredictability there.
Too much unpredictability.
Way
when
too
the time
much,
comes, though, we will.
Once it's drawn up on who's going,
we will definitely dive into that.
Yes.
But we are going to actually switch over.
We're transition to
the NFL.
Yep, to the NFL. So from the great game yesterday to the toilet bowl that we saw on Sunday of the Jets and Giants.
To the Jets and Giants.
Yeah, we have our Giants fans on the call here. We have our Jets fans. So, that game pushed football back 100 years, I would say. It was one of the worst.
I think in most first yards.
Yeah, it was the worst game I've ever seen. And I'm borderline even going to say college or NFL. It was horrible. The weather was horrible. The conditions were horrible. Zach Wilson was horrible. Tyrod Taylor was horrible. The only thing that I would say is that the Jets defense we knew was really good. The Giants defense, now for 2 straight weeks, has been on point. But, a win's a win. You always hear that. The Jets needed this win to stay alive. They're 4-3. The Giants needed this win to stay alive, although it's in the tankathon. But they got the job done. But, I mean, they set football back big time. But the biggest takeaway was the Jets won. However they won it, Suplex said there's drives where Zach Wilson looks like Patrick Mahomes, and at the end of the game, he did. Surprisingly, in 30 seconds, the guy gets you up the field. He couldn't do anything for 45 minutes before that. So it was a good win.
I swear, it's that one drive a game.
Yeah.
Where this guy looks like he's the best quarterback in the league. I swear to God. Just one drive every game. And it's unbelievable.
It's absolutely unbelievable. He'll make the tough throws. It's just like, where is this guy for... I don't even need him for the whole game. Give me like 10 to 15 minutes of that guy. That's it. But the Jets needed that win to stay alive in this AFC. It looks like, a lot of the teams that started out slow are coming back to life. With the news that A-Rod is coming back. Potentially, I heard around Christmas Eve he'll be back. But, the GM didn't make any trades because they're expecting A-Rod back. So it's all about staying afloat for the Jets, no matter how you do it. As a fan, I hated watching that game because it was horrible. People around the league are innovating on offense, and what are we doing? We're running the ball, and no creativity. But if Aaron Rodgers comes back and we're 7-8 when he's back, I'm more than optimistic. But if he doesn't come back, hey, I've seen this movie for 8 years. I'll see it for another 2-3 years.
I mean, I don't have much to say on this either. I think that I actually had a bet before the season started on the Jets versus Giants with a coworker of mine. I had, as a Giants fan, I said the Giants were going to win. And because I lost, because Graham Gano, who for some reason is still on the roster after missing 2 very makeable field goals and costing them the game. I guess they want a guy who misses kicks because they're tanking in pure fashion.
That game was absolutely on Graham Gano.
Yeah, twice. Not even one. 2 field goals that he could have made that he missed. Even if Tyrod Taylor went down, he still had enough opportunities to win the game. He blew it. And I had to walk around work all day in ugly green sweats that had a big-ass red A on my left butt cheek because of the AFC. So I was stuck wearing that all day at work. And it was awful. So thank you, Graham Gano, for absolutely nothing. I'm so pissed that you're still on a roster. But I will say, Greeny said Monday morning on Get Up that they expect Aaron Rodgers to be back Christmas Eve against the Commanders. I mean, if that's real, if that's happening, maybe he'll play 2 more weeks before he gets hurt again because that offensive line is terrible. 32nd worst offensive line in the league. No, I'm kidding. I hope they're healthy, but that team needs to work on their offense line. I think they signed somebody to the practice squad, but they need some real major help there. I think outside of that, the team is very complete. And we've said this on this show before. The way the NFL has been looking this year, this team has a legitimate shot at winning the championship. There is no clear-cut favorite.
It's wide open this year.
It's so the Dolphins got blown out by the Eagles, by the Bills, but they could beat the Patriots, and then the Bills don't know how to beat the Jets. Like it is, and then Denver for some reason kept Chiefs to 9 points. Like you don't know what's gonna happen. It's one game. It's literally March Madness in the playoffs. I think the Jets would have been a very legitimate championship contenders. They probably would have been undefeated right now if they had Aaron Rodgers for every single game. That's how good that team looks. Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson, that defense.
Here's my theory with this. He came back week 4, and he surprised the team while they were having a meeting. I think at that meeting, he told them that he's gonna be back this season. Because that's my only expectation. Because if I was on this team, I would have given up by now with the way Zach Wilson's playing. But I think he definitely said something to them, because this team is playing inspired football. This team is playing like they know that he's gonna be back, or they think that they're hopeful that he'll be back, and then they know that they have a chance once they're in the playoffs to make noise. And I think the win was way more important for the Jets than it was for the Giants. I'm so glad the Giants lost. Number 4 right now in draft order. Inching closer. We're inching closer to Caleb Williams. It's going to happen. Just trust the process.
Yeah, agreed.
Do we even want Caleb at this point?
Hey,
I mean, him and Drake May, it's
closer. It's a lot closer to quarterback, yeah.
It's a lot closer than people think.
Yep, it's a lot closer. I agree there. But, Aaron Rodgers is a smart guy. He's not going to do anything out of pure emotion. So if he's coming back, he's comfortable with this O-line, and he thinks he'll make it work well, where, maybe Zach Wilson isn't reading the offense and maybe sometimes holds the ball too long. So as opposed to there, what Rodgers does is dump it down to the receiver or running back and make the offensive line look good. So I trust, if he's back, then there's no limitations, there's no hesitations about the line either. He'll make it work, especially with the landscape of the freaking AFC, NFC. This is the most wide open I've seen the NFL. This is the most wide open the NFL.
But that's just because the quarterbacks are so bad. Like there is no good quarterbacks left. 5 great quarterbacks, and then the other 27 are hot garbage. Like that's what's left in the NFL. Brock Purdy fell off. Dak Prescott's bad. They're all bad, but we've also seen a lot of really, really good stuff this year, and that's why I want to get your mid-season award picks. Sandy, why don't you give me a rundown, your MVP, DPOY, Offensive Player of the Year, Coach of the Year. Just give me a rundown why each person. Let's do it.
All right. Drum roll, please. I'll give it to myself. Thanks, guys. All right.
I did. I don't think the mic picked it up, but yeah, go ahead.
All right. So for MVP, I'm going with something that I don't think's been done for a really long time. I'm going with Tyreek Hill to win MVP. I think the biggest question in Miami is who deserves the credit for what's going on down there. Is it the coach? Is it Tua being healthy? Is it their multitude of weapons? But I think it starts with one guy, and this guy is absolutely dominating week in, week out. He's already over 1,000 yards, and he's killing it for my fantasy team every week. But he's already over 1,000 yards. He's by far the best receiver in football, and I think he will definitely be over 2,000 yards by the time the season ends. And I think if he hits 2,000, which has never been done before, if he hits 2,000, I think he locks up the MVP award. I think the award is going to be his. He's just so valuable to that team. His ability to go deep opens up everything for them, for the other guys to go vertical, for Waddle to go vertical, for the running backs to do their thing. And I think, Tua is accurate, yes, and Tua's healthy, and Tua is playing great. But a lot of the throws he's making to Tyreek is wide open. Like, Tyreek is so open. So I think if I was to give the second most credit, maybe it goes to McDaniels before it goes to Tua. So, I think Tyreek's definitely MVP of the league so far, and I think by the end of the season, when he hits 2,000 yards, the MVP will be his. And for Offensive Player of the Year, I'm going with Christian McCaffrey. At this point, I think it'll be a shock if he doesn't score a touchdown in a game. I think this whole season, I don't see how he doesn't score a touchdown. This guy is a touchdown machine. Everything in that offense goes through him, running the ball, pass catching. Keeping the team in the game essentially is everything is Christian McCaffrey. We saw in Minnesota when he went out, the offense was struggling mightily, and we can see that even with all the talent they have there, Christian McCaffrey is still that guy. So he's definitely my offensive player of the year. And for defensive player of the year, I'm going with TJ Watt. I don't think there's anything much to debate for that one. I think his brother was right. That is the best defensive player in football. So I'm going with TJ Watt. And for coach of the year, I'm going with Dan Campbell from Detroit. I think the way he has completely turned this franchise around, and he's turned them into a winner, and they're gonna win the division, and they're gonna make noise in the playoffs. I think, and the guys really believe in him. He's a great leader, and his in-game decision making to this point has been superb. So I'll pass it over to one of you guys now.
Savage, give me your picks, baby.
Yeah, my MVP of the 2023 NFL season is Christian McCaffrey. I think he has been the most consistent player in the league, the most quintessential player for that 49ers roster. We saw against the Cleveland Browns when he went down, that offense did not understand how to operate. They could not move across midfield. This guy leads the league in rushing yards by, about 63 yards or so, and then he is equally dangerous as a receiver with 292 yards. He has 9 touchdowns on the season out the backfield, and he also, I believe, has a couple of receiving touchdowns. So I think Christian McCaffrey needs to get his due. He is electrifying throughout the backfield for the 49ers, and he is the one that makes that offense go, and that's what Shanahan wants that offense to be. You can literally put a 7th round irrelevant quarterback at the helm and have the offense look so great, like a shiny new toy, because of Christian McCaffrey. So that's my MVP pick. My offensive player of the year is AJ Brown, not Tyreek Hill. It's AJ Brown on the Fly Eagles Fly. Yes, I'm back on my shit because my Jets suck until Aaron Rodgers come back. No, but seriously, I think Tyreek Hill is going to slow down a bit. Nothing against Tyreek Hill. He's been great so far to start the season. But A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts have formed a connection that is just unbreakable at this point. He's making every contested catch. Tyreek Hill is wide open every time. This man is catching every contested catch with defenders draped on him. He's 939 receiving yards, about 200 yards off pace of Tyreek Hill, but he's coming along late. He had a stinker in week 1, but I think by the end of the year, things will even out, and A.J. Brown will become the best receiver in the league. And my coach of the year pick is Mike McDaniels. The guy has turned the Miami offense into the Golden State Warriors of the NBA. So much pre-motion, so much movement. The offense is electric. The Tua Tagovailoa, who looked like a bust, now looks like an MVP candidate as well. There's guys just running wide open. There's too much speed, and he's getting every single person on that offense involved. So by far and away, I think Mike McDaniels. Dan Campbell was one of my picks too, but I think Mike McDaniel, nobody saw this coming. So that's my coach of the year. And defensive play of the year, I'm going to go with Myles Garrett. I think it's his time. He's going to get his due. TJ Watt's playing out of his mind as well, but Myles Garrett just looks like he's doing this without even trying. He's doing some crossover, step backs, Euro steps when he's going for the sack. He's tied right there for second in the league in sacks with 8.5. So I think Myles Garrett's year, that Browns defense looks dominant, but I think he's the leader of that defense, and he finally locks up that award.
All right, guys, I'm going to do my mid-season awards real quick. For MVP, I have Patrick Mahomes. Listen, the reality is Eric Bieniemy, no Eric Bieniemy. That man is still winning football games. No real wide receiver one. Travis Kelce, a little old, but still getting the job done. He's still slinging that ball. Yes, They had a tough loss to Denver, but Patrick Mahomes is carrying this team on his back. If there's one guy I think who will win MVP is Patrick Mahomes. Offensive Player of the Year, I have Tyreek Hill. The reason why I think he won't win MVP because wide receivers don't win MVP, straight up. But he's out to set history. You know, there's potential for him to get 2,000 receiving yards. If he does, there's a good chance he could win MVP. Until then, Offensive Player of the Year, I think Tyreek Hill has that locked up, which is a little on the nose since Patrick Mahomes used to throw the ball to him once upon a time. For Defensive Player of the Year, I got Micah Parsons, who is the heart and soul of that Dallas defense. That Dallas defense is legit. Trayvon Diggs is out for the season, but guess what? This man cannot be stopped. 6 sacks in 7 games. I think Micah Parsons is just a beast who is carrying this defense as well as carrying a podcast on Bleacher Report. I think this man is a lock for Depoy. Coach of the Year, I got Doug Peterson because let's be honest, Trevor Lawrence is not that guy. Everybody was saying, oh, he's better than Joe Burrow. When he comes into the league, he's going to be better than Joe Burrow. He is not better than Joe Burrow. There's a reason why the LSU team beat Clemson in that national championship game in college. Trevor Lawrence versus Joe Burrow. But Trevor Lawrence hasn't looked great, and they're still 6-2. And that has a lot to do with Doug Peterson. I think he's going to win Coach of the Year. That team is definitely going to win their division, and they're going to have at least one home game in their most likely have one home game in the playoffs. So, you know, they look really, really good because of Doug Peterson. Those are my picks for my midseason awards.
All right, guys, some interesting conversation there, but let's go to week 9, and we're going to start off. We're going to take a little flight over to Frankfurt, Germany for that first 9:30 game. Exciting game, so, you know, I'm going to be interested to see who the hell wakes up to watch this at 9:30 in the morning after.
I will definitely be up for that.
Yeah. It's tough for the ones that get hammered. Tank.
Let me know how the game goes.
So we're going to start off with the Miami Dolphins against the Kansas City Chiefs. So once again, we have the Dolphins here playing a real team, as opposed to the combined record of 5-20, the teams that they usually blow out the water. So they didn't do well against the Bills. They didn't do well against the Eagles. So let's see. Suplex, what do you think? What do you think about this Dolphins-Chiefs game? Give us your prediction here.
So this is a really interesting game. Tyreek
revenge game.
He's been waiting for this game since the minute they traded him. And you know the Chiefs are coming off that 9-point performance from last week. You know, I think it's gonna be interesting. The matchup obviously is the Chiefs defense against that high flying Dolphins offense. I think, you know, the Chiefs will definitely put up points, but that's the matchup, you know, we all want to watch. I think Tyreek does what he said he's gonna do. You know, he told them it doesn't matter where the game is, they're going to get that work, and I think they are going to get that work. And I think the Dolphins will win that game. I'm telling you, the Chiefs are not as good as their record says they are. And I think we're going to find out this week in Germany. I think the Dolphins win.
What about you, Tank?
Listen, Tyreek Hill might be Suplex's pick for MVP, but he's not going to show up against his old boys. He's not going to do much damage. The Chiefs are going to win this game. They're going to win it handedly, and MVP Patrick Mahomes is going to handle his business after being disrespected by the Denver Nuggets. I think that the Chiefs win this game pretty easily because Miami doesn't know how to play against good teams.
Yeah, and just to put a wrap on that, I got the Chiefs, but in a close one, because the Bills the Dolphins got blown out by the Bills and the Eagles, who both are operating like better offenses than the Chiefs, I think. So the Chiefs may run into an issue here, but I think Patrick Mahomes pulls out a close one against the relatively weak and weak Dolphins defense. I think that's where the issue is going to be, but we're going to see points galore. The over-under's at 50.5. I think they blow past that. And Germans in for a treat this weekend.
They're in for one, definitely.
Yeah,
yep.
They're definitely in for one. So from Germany, we go to Baltimore. We got the Seahawks against the Ravens, so battle of the birds. Tank, who you got here, and what's your little preview here?
I think Ravens win. I think they're a really good team in their conference, and I don't think Geno Smith will know what to do against that defense. I think Ravens take this one pretty easily.
What about you, Suplex?
Yeah, I mean, Lamar Jackson absolutely owns the NFC. I think what's the record? 17-1. The only loss coming against the Giants last year, which was unbelievable. But I don't think the Seahawks play well on the road. We saw that.
Yeah.
When they traveled to Cincinnati, they didn't play well. And Baltimore's defense is better, so I think Baltimore definitely will take the win here comfortably.
Yeah, I think we got a clean sweep there. I got the Ravens too. I don't think the Seahawks are a good team. I think once again against the good teams, they're not going to come out and beat you, especially on the road. It's a 1:00 game. Team traveling west to east. That never works out. And then the Seahawks haven't really beaten anyone. They've beaten the Lions, and then they beat the Browns without their quarterback. So I think the Ravens do what the Bengals did to the Seahawks, but probably worse. So I got the Ravens too. So from there, we're going to the Cowboys and Eagles. This is the matchup of the week. I mean, this is
the game of the week.
The game of the week at the Link. So Tank, we're gonna go to you first as you're rocking that Cowboys beanie on your head. So who you got this week?
Right now?
Nobody is beating them boys, all right? Cowboys taking this. They're going to surprise you guys. And Micah Parsons is going to play some real good defense against them boys. Cowboys win this. I got my money on the Cowboys. I'll bet on them, and I'll send you a screenshot, Savage. I'm betting on the Cowboys.
Well, you don't have to ask me. I got the Eagles. I don't think the Eagles are that good as last year. I think they got holes. They struggle to close games. But Lane Johnson is going to treat Micah Parsons like his little, and he's going to smack him around. What? Micah Parsons will not have a sack this game. He will not have a sack this game. He might not even get close to touching Jalen Hurts this game.
He better go on the other side.
If he wants a sack, he better line up on the left side. And right there, that's a hit to his ego. So I don't know if he's going to do that. On his left side, sorry. I don't know if he's going to do that. But I think, we're in for the typical Cowboy game. The Cowboys smacked the Rams on every aspect of the game, special teams, defense, offense. Now they're going to come play a better team. I think the Eagles are going to run down their throat. They're not going to try to throw it on them. And the Eagles will come away with the win.
So it comes down to me, right? With the
the tiebreaker.
Yeah, let's see.
With the tiebreaker.
The tiebreaker.
Yeah, there's no way I'm picking Dak Prescott in Philadelphia in front of those fans. There's no way. I think the Eagles win. I think the Eagles might win big. I don't think it might not be close. If this game was in Dallas, I think honestly I might have leaned Dallas.
Yeah, the line's telling you that, right? So -3. I mean, home field advantage.
-3 is telling you these teams.
It's a pick'em.
Vegas thinks these teams is, if it was on a neutral field, it's a pick'em.
It's a pick'em.
But I think the games in Philadelphia, there's just no way. I don't think Dak's getting it done.
Yep. All right, and then the primetime game. It's a repeat of that last year, that scary moment where DeMar Hamlin went down. The national media is pushing that, but I don't take that narrative. I take the narrative where the Bengals beat the Bills' brains out in that playoff game. And already you hear
the Bills are talking. The Bills are talking.
No, the Bengals are talking. The Bengals are talking, right? The Bills are talking, right? That if there was no snow, we beat you or something. Yeah,
that's
the Bills. The Bills said that?
The Bills said that. Bills said if there was no snow, we beat them and it wouldn't be close. That's what they said.
Yeah, come on. That sounds so weak. I mean, just a hot team here. I'm going with the Bengals. Bengals are home. Joe Burrow looks healthier. They went into San Francisco, which is a hard place to play. They beat them. The week before, they beat the Sea Chickens. They'll take care of the Bills this week.
I mean, let me tell you, if you think that snow was the reason you didn't win and you play in Buffalo, you got something else coming for you come playoff time. But
I was gonna say, I was like, shouldn't they say if we do play in snow, we're gonna beat you? I was like, wait a second, I don't know that much football, but I know Buffalo plays in snow.
Yeah, so I don't know what's going on with that, but I will say that I think to your point, Bengals are hot. Bengals are hot. They look good, and Josh Allen is due another CTE game. So I got my money on the Bengals for this one.
Yeah, I'm going with the Bengals too. I'm going with the better quarterback at home.
Woo!
And the Bills are still very suspicious. I'm not letting last week fool me.
Yep.
I think the Bengals win.
Alrighty, and the last game on the slot, very personal for some of us, the Chargers and Jets. Tank, who you got?
if it's a close game, which in Chargers case it might be, I got Zach Patrick Mahomes Wilson on the final drive to win the game for him. I got my money on the Jets. I'm sure, Suplex, you have a similar opinion to this.
I'm actually going with the Jets too. I think the Chargers are extremely suspicious. Also, I'm not letting them fool me either. I think the Jets defense will be there to play, and the Chargers defense is not good like at all. So I think Zach Wilson's gonna actually
less pressure,
look like an NFL quarterback.
Yep.
Yeah, he's gonna look like an NFL quarterback a little bit. So
yeah,
I think.
And what helps me is that this game's in primetime. The Jets have shown up on primetime this year. They've come out and really come out to play. So the Jets defense is going to give that Chargers offense hell. The Chargers defense is absolutely horrible. So I think the Jets, just by running the football, will get their share. I don't even know how much they'll need not Patrick. Oh my God, you have me calling him Patrick Wilson.
That's him. Last drive of the game. That's him.
He's gonna look like that one of the drives. I'm telling you.
Did you know
Final
he leads
drive
the league with the most fourth quarter comebacks with the
comebacks? Yeah.
We give him so much shit, and all he does is keep us alive this year. But
clutch.
yeah, I got the Jets.
Yeah,
I got the Jets. Yeah, but in a close one. They don't blow teams out because of their offense.
They don't blow anyone.
Yeah,
out.
they'll win by. I think the Chargers might even cover the 3.5, but Jets by 3. Yeah.
Wait, no, I thought the Chargers were favorite. No.
Chargers.
Oh yeah. So actually, Jets win outright then.
Jets win outright. Yeah.
Jets win outright. Yep.
Well, thank you everyone for tuning in to our 3rd episode of The Drop Room. We appreciate you if you listen to the whole thing. And before we say goodbye, if you're listening on YouTube, please go ahead and drop a like, comment, subscribe, and share this podcast with your friends and family. And go ahead and check out our Twitter and TikTok. Our handle is @RealTheDropRoom. And to read our articles on the NBA, NFL, MLB, UFC, and much more, make sure to check out our website, thedroproom.net. With that being said, we'll see you guys in the next episode.